Hello, hello everyone. How are you doing? Well, what do you know? I'm on time. Gosh, Brian, I know that is you. Hopefully you guys can see and hear me. There's no feedback. I'm having some technical difficulties. Usually I wear AirPods during these and my case did not charge in time. So I apologize. So if you can just give me a chat and let me know that everything sounds okay. Okay, good. Good. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. So today's webinar, we're introducing knockouts. Yes, welcome. So if you're new to Photoday, welcome. Today's webinar is just about knockouts and this new feature, how it's going to work, all that good stuff. So some general housekeeping. I won't keep you guys an hour today. Cannot talk about this stuff for an hour unless you keep me talking and ask me questions, which I highly encourage during today's webinar. This is where you have a chance to just ask it all before it releases because it is about to release. So, the king. You guys are hilarious. Thanks for always keeping me entertained during these webinars because, as you know, I can't hear anything. I just sit here and talk to my screen and show you guys all about it. So many questions. Yes, I know. So general housekeeping. From the time I talk until the time I see your chat, there's about a 10-second delay. So if I don't get to it right away and I talk kind of fast, so I will try to go a little bit slower here just to make sure everyone fully understands this Photoday's initial release of the knockout feature, what it does, what the benefits are, and that way I can make sure that we paint those expectations clearly and you guys find value. But because with any new feature release, if you've been around a while, feedback is our number one thing. So we like to kind of release the product, not all the way where you'd like to see it, but this is so we can build it better and exceed your expectations as time goes on. So it's kind of how we do things here at Photoday. So I'm all excited. Your comments are making me laugh. Oh my gosh. And with any new feature release, I'm always super nervous. If you guys can't tell, I'm always nervous, not even just going live, but just showing you guys this. But I want to show you what our team has built up to this point. It was something that they executed on fairly quickly here. So we're really excited about it. And I'm going to show you guys how to get it and all that good stuff. So thanks for joining live. All right, so let's talk knockouts. So what kind of knockouts do we offer? Well, right off the bat, sorry to let all you last light guys down, but right off the bat, we're only going to be dealing with green or blue backgrounds only. So if you have a job where you have green screen and blue screen, those are going to need to be separated into two separate jobs within your one main job. So I'll get to that as we go along. So how you get to the knockouts is important, but I just want to show you some organizational things and what the capabilities actually are right off the bat. You can do this service with headshots, 3/4 length or full body, as long as all body parts are located on the backdrop, right? So if you got like heads over top of some lights that are in there, or like a hand that's hanging off the side of the backdrop, it's not going to extract. Also, the green or the blue screen should fill the entire portion behind the subject, and there should be no body parts hanging off because it will have some issues there. So also, backdrops must be free from wrinkles and dirt. If it is, it's okay. We have some additional things that we can go through to help with that. And there's only 1 to 2 subjects per image. I am explaining to you guys the cheapest way to knock out images. The most economical way is to get it right in the camera first. That way you get pristine results at the lowest possible price right off the bat. All right. So that's what we're going through right now. Your backdrop should not be lit. You're lighting your subject, not the backdrops. And there should be no like hard shadows present behind your subject because those things will affect your pricing there. So we're going to go. I hate hanging body parts. It's so true. What a pain in the butt, right? Well, if you do all of that right, the knockouts are very inexpensive. So you're talking about 35 cents an image and 2 business days. Now, there are 2 components to this, right? So there are abilities beyond the 35 cents, but I want to show you guys how to get that lowest possible price. Stop distracting me with the comments, Tim. I'm going to call you out right now. Okay, so the lowest possible price with the fastest turnaround, okay? So 2 business days, 35 cents per image, right? There is a part of this that is AI, but every single image is reviewed to make sure everything is knocked out accordingly, and you do not have to do additional work once you get images back. We want this to be super convenient. So here are some examples. Here's some examples of what a good image looks like, right? These are 3/4 length. So you see that all of the images on the backdrop, they can have props if they want, as long as they're in front of the image. And if they're green or blue, yes, that's going to come in possibly to a higher price, depends on what shade it is exactly. And then of course you can have more than one subjects for those sibling photos. You can handle that, no problem. Now, if they are like sitting on their prop, like if they're sitting on a desk or something like that, that also does work as well. It does qualify for these very inexpensive knockouts, but I just wanted to show you guys what that is. So at Photo Day, I just kind of wanted to back it up a little bit. We are all about giving you guys the best quality as well as the convenience. So I know there's a lot of options out there right now that use AI and knock things out instantaneously for even a lower rate. But we didn't think the AI is quite there yet to be able to do that and deliver the quality that everyone's looking for when it comes to creating a really great image, a really great knocked out image with premium backgrounds, right? And when you're selling in Photo Day, you're selling image first, and it has to be premium. It has to look really good the first time your customer sees it, so they have a great experience all the way through. I also understand that a lot of you guys do your own knockouts, right, for speed. So you might want to consider this service if you're getting bogged down and you just want to get it done with and it's not waiting on you anymore. So I think it's a great thing to have it in there specifically for convenience. Yes, the logo looks a little emo in this one. He's got a lot of different expressions going on, which I think is super cool. So, oh, cool. Thanks, Angelo. Thanks for offering that. He sent that private message. If anyone wants to see a demo, he's willing to share with the background features. That's awesome. And we're going to have more as time goes on. But this initial release is really just to start the excitement about it and get it in your hands or your plans if you're looking for a solution. So I thought the really great thing about this is that we're getting that like bulk rate of 35 cents a green screen knockout, right? So if you're not doing super high volume, you might be paying more. So this is really great if you're only doing part of your jobs with green screen or a job with green screen to help getting your foot in the door without paying so much right off the bat. And Angelo, yes, the question is, do we get back the transparent PNGs files for reuse? Yes, I'm going to show you guys how that all works. Okay, so how are you going to access these knockouts? Well, I will tell you won't be able to get there today, but you could start your homework today, theoretically. So, but we're planning on this being released to everyone the middle of the week. So it's looking at Wednesday right now. It was going to go today, but we want a couple other things in there before we release it to everyone. So it looks like Wednesday at this point. So let's go through it, right? So the first thing you do is create a job. You should be familiar with creating a job in Photo Day. And I want to just back up for 1 second here in case anyone is wondering, can you use Photo Day for knockouts and not necessarily sell in Photo Day? Yes, the answer is yes. You could use Photo Day to do your knockouts, even if you have a job that you weren't planning on using and selling with the Photo Day shopping cart or commerce system, just to get that bulk rate of knockouts. You are totally allowed to do that. We welcome you to do that. If you wanted to just try the knockout service, but you're still using paper forms with that job or another method, it's totally fine for you to do that. We welcome you to do that, okay? So, but how you get into knockouts is you're going to create a job first. So obviously you need a Photo Day account and you need to set up a job to be able to access the knockout feature. Now, once you're in that job, you will notice a new section called services. This is going to be there for private, for public, or group galleries. It doesn't matter what type of job you create. It also doesn't matter which lab you are using. You can still create a knockout job. So once you go to services, there's going to be a section in here called knockouts, right? And first things first, we want to make sure that each and every person using the knockout feature fully understands the whole, like, how it's going to work, right? So because of that, we're going to ask you to read the Getting Started article, which is basically what I'm going through today. And so you can skip that part if you see this on Wednesday and you just want to get right to it. If you watch this whole webinar, good, you don't have to read the article. I'm going to give you guys a free pass on that because I'm explaining it to you right now. But you'll send us a sample green screen image or blue screen image of how you expect this to work in the bubble, right? So you're going to use the chat bubble and you're going to send over an image. You're just going to hit the little attachment button and you're going to send your sample image to us. This way, our support staff, our success team, we know what you're looking for and we know if we're able to grant you this feature access or not. Now, you don't have to do it per job. We just want to make sure you understand because there's, like I said, there's a lot of variations in AI of removing backdrops out there. We just want to paint a clear picture to make sure you guys fully understand the capabilities of this initial release, right? Angelo, your question, I have hundreds of green screen images with my standard light up. Would there be any way? Yep. Oh, test image right here. I'm answering your question. Yes, just go ahead and send it in the bubble. And once we see that we made the connection and you know what this is going to do, and we understand that, we're going to turn on access for you, right? So we'll just turn it on for you right away and you'll be able to get started. So let's go. All right, so once we turn it on, that section goes away and you are able to put your knockout job. Oh, it's like, it's perfect, right? I walked through this, so I'm almost like reading your mind. So you will be able to create your first knockout job right here. Now, what I don't want you guys to get hung up on here is like uploading photos to the gallery and trying to move them to be knocked out. Nope, they got to be a separate job. You've got to start in services and create a knockout job here. Once you do that, you can name it. So if you're going out and photographing on multiple days, you might have day 1 knockouts, day 2 knockouts, day 3 knockouts, right? That's why you're creating separate sub jobs for the knockouts inside that main job. That way you can keep better organized when and where you're knocking out images. So after you do that, it'll be prompted you to this little 4-step process, very similar to when you set up your jobs with Photo Day, right? So the first thing is going to be getting started. It's going to bring in this little modal up. It's going to say, here's Photo Day credits. This is our new credit system we'll talk about here in a second. Photo Day knockouts, little getting started, learn more. And then pre-flight, make sure you did everything right to make sure you're going to get optimal knockouts at the lowest possible price. No surprises, right? So we're all about no surprises. Then you'll be able to upload your knocked out images. Now, what's cool here is that if you had some kind of editing process. So you went through and say you cropped all your green images to 8x10 and you sorted them in the folders or you did keywords, whatever you're used to doing, right? You will be able to move those images that are already knocked out into the live gallery and have those tags automatically create for you. If you're in private galleries, it's just going to use the reference photos to match up, or at any time when you eventually add reference photos to that job, it'll match all those PNGs up, right? So let me get to this question. So does this mean we will have studio accounts to change services to charge services to? Eventually, Brian, yes. Photo Day Wallet will open up all kinds of new opportunities for future products and development of Photo Day. So yes, you guys can get a little bit excited about that now, but give us some time. So we're going to get through this one too. So, all right, cool. So once you do that, here's some uploading like rules of thumb, right? Remember, make sure your backdrop and your image is not hanging off the backdrop, no spare body parts, right? Don't over sharpen or over blur your images before they're knocked out. It's going to cause like probably less than ideal results for you. Make sure your color space is always set to sRGB. That is the standard colored space. Any other color space is going to make your images look weird and wonky. So don't do that. JPEGs, make sure you're doing your 15 meg on upload JPEGs when you upload for knockouts, right? This is once saved. It's not the opened, uncompressed file 15 megs. It's once you save it as a JPEG, it is no bigger than 15 megs, which is still a pretty big file once you open it all up. The tag rules are still going to apply. And then the private gallery match will happen after you move your knocked out images into your Photo Day gallery. So within that same job. So just some basic rules of thumbs about uploading. So now that you've uploaded your images, you'll be prompted to review them first. From here, you can select, you can delete ones you don't want to get knocked out. If you don't, you can view them larger if you want. Any of those typical photo gallery overview tools are available in this review process. So you can make sure you're only sending the images that you want to be knocked out. And then once you click submit, it's going to tally up the amount of images and it's going to give you a estimated total at 35 cents per photo here, right? So once you do that, if you have credits, you can just submit. If you don't have credits in your cart in advance, it's going to prompt you to buy those amount of credits. And right now, our minimum credit purchase is sitting at $1. Think this all might change here in the next coming days as well. We're working on some fundings for you guys, but you just put your payment information, you buy the credits, and it's done. So you can buy, I'm not going to say as many credits as you want. There are limits. I think it's like $10,000 or something like that crazy, but you can buy some credits here. And these credits are available for any of your permission-based users that have access to create jobs, right? And use those services. So when you buy credits here, it's applicable for all of your permission-based users. So I wanted to say that as well, if you have multiple people accessing your account with different permission levels. So there's also going to be a new section that appears in your PhotoDay settings. So under PhotoDay settings, under My Studio, you're going to see the new PhotoDay wallet. The wallet's going to tell you how many credits are in there at any time, when you purchase them, when you redeem them. There's going to be a full report in this section so you can see your credits in and credits out. Again, these are pertaining to the PhotoDay wallet credits. Do not confuse this with refunds or advance pay, right? These are just for PhotoDay wallet and credits right now for knockouts. There might be some things coming down the pipeline, but right now it's just for knockouts. That's what that feature is for. So what happens if your images don't qualify? Because after you submit, they're going to go up. And ideally, if they're all great images and they qualify for that 35 cents, which most of them probably will, as long as we paint those expectations, right? They're going to come back in and I'll show you that in a second. But what happens if they don't qualify? Well, what's going to happen is that our team will reach out to you in the chat bubble, which you'll already get a copy of email if you haven't logged in. So you will get a response from our team. We will tell you the adjusted price, and then you will have to pay that invoice. We'll send you an email with an invoice. You'll pay the remainder, and then we'll knock the rest of them out at that agreed price. So if you had something weird happen, if it requires a lot of backdrop cleanup, if you send images on like a gray masters or on a white background, and it costs a little bit more, yes, green hair, green nail polish, anything like that will cost slightly more to be knockout reviewed and guaranteed, right? Because we want to give you guys the best quality we possibly can. But of course, that all comes with a price, right? Because we're doing all that work for you guys to make sure that you have the most optimal knockouts possible. So we will let you know and we will notify you within those 2 days, right? So you're either going to get the job back and it's going to be completed, or you're going to get an email saying, hey, we found some issues. We can't knock these ones out. We can knock these ones out. This is how much it's going to be. Do you still want to go? Right? And then you have the choice to say go or never mind, let me try to do it myself. So we're going to give you guys that flexibility there, especially on this first release. So now, but if your job's beautiful and it's ready and everything's great, you're going to get an email and it's going to say, hey, your knockout jobs is ready. And then this is what you do next, right? The email is going to come from a new email address called services@photoday.io. Make sure you always check your spam because it's a new email. And it might go to your spam box. That's why I have this here. So make sure you allow emails from services@photoday.io or add it to your contacts right now. That way you don't forget about it, because that's where the, hey, your job's ready email is going to come to. And then from there, you can click view and it'll take you right into that job. And you'll be able to see the number of photos and the status that the knockouts have now been completed, right? And you'll be able to see all your knocked out images. Now, from here, you can do two things. You can download them. It'll compress them all in one zip folder and you'll be able to download them all. So if you're doing your own background, your own compositing, stuff like that, you are going to get back the PNGs. and then you can do whatever you want and upload them. If you are using more of a school workflow, and it's just like a bunch of headshots and you want to move them over to the gallery, you can do that too. And I'll show you that. So if you prepare to download, you can view them all bigger first, make sure they all look good. And then you can go ahead and download, and it looks similar. If you've ever used our export function, it just looks very similar to exports. You just hit download, and then they will download. You can save them on your hard drive anywhere you want. They're your PNGs. You paid for them. You can grab them anytime you want. Now, if you want to move them to the gallery, you can do the same thing. Now, remember what I said about like, if they have like tags or keywords, those things are still going to apply in the group or public gallery. When you move them, let's just say to a private gallery, and you didn't do reference photos yet, or you didn't do your match yet, they're just going to sit in a knocked out and unmatched section until it has reference photos, and then it's going to match all up, right? So you can move them over. And here's like a little fun feature. This is more for possibly the future. You can move only the knocked out images to the gallery, or you can move both the knocked out and original photos to the main gallery from here, right? So you can do one or the other. Those are the options you're going to get when you move your knockouts. Andrea, what would be a rough place if they don't qualify, such as images that are a little more challenging to knock out? It's anywhere like complicated group photos. I think we're a little over $2. And I think like if we happen to get like gray or masters or anything like that in there, it's probably going to be a little over $1, $1.25, $1.50 range. We're still not going to be able to extract around like body parts hanging off. So if you do that and you still want it, you're going to have to clean those up before you upload them for the final. If you're using the Photodate backgrounds feature, which I will get to. So hopefully that answers your questions there. All right, cool. So speaking of the backgrounds feature, if you move them to a gallery and you have a price sheet for like Richmond, who is right now our only lab that has Photodate backgrounds, you will be able to use the backgrounds feature right away, right? So you don't have to do any pre-compositing, nothing like that. You can upload your collection of backgrounds. And then your customers will get to choose. So I'm just going to play a quick video of the backgrounds feature so you can see that, and then I'll dive back into some specifics. So give me 1 second while I play this video. All right, now the cool thing about that backgrounds feature is that if you are doing like horizontal or vertical, you can have horizontal or vertical cropped images and cropped backgrounds. So it will position your subject automatically on those as they're switching their backgrounds. So when I say that, if you are using the Photodate background feature, I highly suggest cropping your images to 8x10 before you upload for knockouts and before you put PNGs in the gallery. And I say that because all of the backgrounds in the backgrounds feature are sized to an 8x10 or 10x8. So if you have a horizontal image, it has to be a 10x8, and then you have to have corresponding 10x8 backgrounds for the customer to select from, and the same thing for 8x10, right? So just make sure you cross your T's, dot your I's, make sure your cropping is uniform. It matches the backgrounds. You're getting the very sophisticated tech here. So just make sure it all works and you've got everything sized accordingly before you get to that part. And that is backgrounds and knockouts, guys. So a couple things I will say to you guys at this point is that we are working on getting backgrounds in with Reedy Photo right now, as well as the rest of our lab partners shortly after that. I'm not sure who's up after Reedy, but I know we're working on with all of our lab partners getting the backgrounds feature added so you don't have to composite yourself. But again, it is not required for you to sell these images in Photodate. So if you have jobs on paper forms or with another solution and you still want to get in at that 35 cent knockout rate and use Photo Day just for your knockouts, download the PNGs back. You are more than welcome to. We want to be flexible with you guys. We understand you're doing all these different things. And hopefully you will find this service very helpful and very convenient for you as you go into hopefully a very, very busy fall season. Hopefully everyone's doing really great, and then hopefully not too many interruptions happening. Heard some cancellations here and there, but there's always rescheduling. So hopefully that will be really good for you guys. Let's see. Any other questions I have today? Now is the time to ask me, because that is really it. If you want to learn more about the backgrounds themselves and how to set up the backgrounds to use with the knockout feature, I'm going to put a comment right in here for our backgrounds webinar. This was just a complete walkthrough of how to set up backgrounds for Photo Day. Like I said, you can only do it right now if you attach a Richmond price sheet, and then you get access to set up your backgrounds for that job. And soon, obviously, Reedy will be next, and then we'll let you guys know who's next after that. Now, we will wait to send our weekly newsletter until this is live, and it looks like it's going to be Wednesday this week. Wednesday, we'll let you guys know when it's good to go. If you wanted to start early and start your homework, go ahead and send your test image into the bubble. We will review it, and we can always grant you guys some early access between now and then if you had something pressing. So Tim's question has to do with sports equipment, toss balls in the air, tennis balls, tennis rackets, lacrosse sticks. It does really good on anything with nets. Balls in the air, it should be fine. Tennis rackets, it should be fine. Like I said, we tested a whole bunch of images. Thank you guys for sending me all those images that really help paint the expectations and figure out what we're comfortable with, what we're not comfortable with right now on this initial release. So thanks for you who contributed to those, but we feel pretty confident you're really going to like this system the way we have it right now. And did you change your shampoo? Your hair looks bouncy and more manageable. Oh, thanks, Brian. I actually did change my hair treatment, so thanks for noticing. I hope you guys have an awesome week. Happy Monday. And again, you know where to find us in the support chat bubble. If you're new to Photo Day, welcome. Go ahead and sign up. You can dive right into knockouts if you'd like. Come Wednesday and just test it out. And Nancy, your question coming in late. Normal extractions are 35 cents. What about sibling? Yes, siblings, 35 cents. And Nancy, yes, you can download your PNGs, you can add drop shadows and re-upload them to Photo Day. It does not do drop shadows automatically for you, but you can download those PNGs. So the replay of this will be out tomorrow, so we'll send that out. And I'm good. Thanks, Brian. All right, guys. Thanks for today. I hope to see you all soon. Ciao.